everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alicia Elizabeth and I'm so happy that you decided to join me today. We have been discussing Dr. Brene Brown, The Gifts of Imperfection. We've been unpacking this book for a little while now. So if this is your first time on this channel, welcome. Hello. You can find the previous video below. You're more than welcome to start at that video. You can start at this video. You can start at number 1 of the Wholehearted Living series. All of the information is independent of one another, but they do build upon each other. So it's totally up to you. For my returning viewers and subscribers, hey boo, hey, I'm so happy both of you are here. Grab a snack, get comfortable. We have something really fun to talk about today, okay? So first and foremost, while I turn to the page, we're on page 93 if you have the book and you're following along. You guys and gals, we have 4 chapters left and I'm a little excited about it. I'm excited to see the finish of the book because I want to unpack with people who have been following along. I'm still not sure what that's going to look like, but I'm also excited to see what the next book is going to be. I have enjoyed doing this with you all, and so we'll unpack towards the end, but essentially that means we have about maybe 5 to 6 more videos of the Wholehearted Living series, and then we are on to the next book of choice. So I do just want to say, I need my neighbors not to be loud. I do just want to say thank you for those who are watching, who have watched, who have commented, who's reading along, who purchased the book to read long after I'm done with the video series, who have told me they're going to watch the videos again with the book. I just appreciate you all for sharing, for viewing, for subscribing, for commenting. It all just keeps me going, okay? So today's chapter is about cultivating creativity and letting go of comparison. I think the last couple chapters, it's really easy to almost forget what the overarching goal is. So I just want to bring it back to your attention, especially since we've been going through this book for a while, that we are trying to cultivate wholehearted living, okay? That's our goal. We want to live wholehearted lives. We want to love wholeheartedly. And so in this section, Brene wants to talk about how we should be practicing creativity more often, which in hindsight helps us to cancel comparison, the behavior of it, the mindset of it, things like that. So she says, jumping right in, she says, comparison is all about conformity and competition. Can you just tap yourself on the shoulder if you're someone who does some comparison? Like if you feel like you often compare, just go ahead and tap your shoulder. Because I want you to know, I want you to make sure you make this personal, okay? So I'm going to tap my little shoulder. It's natural. It's a human part of us. The world teaches us to compare. Social media teaches us to compare. We get our rocks off of platforms that encourage comparison. Who did it best? Who wore it best? Who sang it best? We thrive off of that for some reason, which we'll talk about in a minute. She says, at first, it seems like conforming and competing are mutually exclusive, but they're not. When we compare, we want to see who or what is best out of a specific collection of alike things. So she's saying when we compare, we want to see who's the best out of that arena. So here's the natural hair community, who's the best natural hair enthusiast. Here's the fitness community. Here's the church community. Here's the fashion community. Who's the best? That's what comparison wants to do. We may compare things like how we parent with parents who have totally different values or traditions than us. But the comparisons that get us really riled up are the ones we make with folks living next door. Or people who are on our children's soccer team, at our school. But get this, we don't compare our houses to the mansions across town. We compare our yard to the yards on our block. When we compare, we want to be the best or have the best of our group. So when I was reading that, the first thing, I'm going to be honest with y'all, that came to my mind was, wow, that is so true. We compare typically within close proximity of where we are. But here's the plot twist that I want to just challenge you, because this is what I took away from reading it, is that people who compare are small-minded people. Hold on, don't throw me away, don't cancel the video. This is a small-minded mindset when I look at her breaking it down, that we compare people on our level, because here's the thing. we are smart enough to know that there's no comparison that will exist with someone out of our league. Okay? I have a house. I'm not comparing it to a mansion. Why? My hope and prayer is that it's because they don't compare. They are just not in the same arena. But what that should tell us and what that should encourage us to do and posture ourselves is to say, I don't want to stay on this level. I want to strive to that. I want to have a mansion, right? But instead, when we give room and weight to comparison in our arena, we make this arena the best arena, right? I hope that makes sense. So for instance, oh, I have $100 in my savings. How much do you have? Talking to someone in the same income bracket as me. Oh, just 95? Just 95. I would not have that same tempo, that same energy, that same body posture sitting across from a billionaire, because there is no comparison. So instead of wasting my time and energy here, not that I should be like, I don't want to posture you as being someone that should not be content where you are. But why focus on comparing to your peers and those who are in the same group as you when you could be striving to get to the next level? And that means having to actually face where you are and where you want to be. Why not take your energy in that mindset and focus it there? I hope this is making sense. So when I read this and I'm like, wow, that's so true. We compare with people who feel like peers, people who feel like they're on the same level as us. But who benefits from that? Neither one of us have reached a new bracket in this comparison game. But instead of putting my energy there, I can say, whoa, okay, I have a 2-bedroom house, 1 bathroom, half bathroom, it doesn't work. And here you are with a mansion and a gardener, and you have your own winery or your own backyard of vegetables. And wow, I can't compare. I can't waste my time comparing. But what I can do is take notes. Let me, okay, how much did you pay? Oh, you make how much? Oh, what job is that? Right? Okay, I'm done. I'm getting off that. The next thing she says is that she begins to talk about how when she thinks back to her childhood, she remembers baking cookies, sewing, doing arts and crafts. Life was just sweet, right? And then she got to be about 8 or 9 and she shifted. Creativity and those type of things were not as important. And if you think about even the school system, there comes a time where you start to see less and less crayons. You start to see less and less projects, more papers, more homework, more rigorous work, of course, to see where you are. But creativity isn't always, depending on where you teach and things of that sort, or where you learn, held to a high regard. And so in this research, here's what she learned. She says, sorry, I lost my page. She says, let me sum up what I've learned about creativity from the world of wholehearted living and loving. So this is what she learned by way of her research for wholehearted living and loving. Number 1, I'm not very creative. That statement does not work. There is no such thing as creative people and non-creative people. There are only people who use their creativity and people who don't. Unused creativity doesn't just disappear. It lives within us until it is expressed, neglected to death or suffocated by resentment and fear. I keep telling myself to walk slow through this because it can be taken lightly, but I think in a world where you can see the divide, right? Like I'm someone who will sit back and be like, okay, I cannot stand that there are some people who feel like they're a part of the creative community. Like, if we are all creative people, okay? On a natural note, research shows that, but on a spiritual note, our creator was creative in the smallest sense in how he created us, right? We're not even talking about the details and getting into how, how attentive to detail he was. I'm simply telling you that our creator exhibits creative behaviors and characteristics simply in the way he created us. The way he created the world demonstrates that creativity exists in him, right? And so if we are made in his likeness and in his image, then you better believe that you are a creative, okay? But what's so true, she says, is that There's no such thing as creative people and non-creative people. There are only people who use their creativity and people who don't. So I ask you, what creativity have you not tapped into? And I think sometimes because the world does not put it on a pedestal, we throw it away. And so I want to speak to someone who has gifts that are dormant, that because you're not being affirmed by hundreds and thousands of people, you have completely stopped utilizing. And I want to encourage you to understand that, like, that is your creative thing. Do it. You have singers, dancers, designers. You have people who make things, people who sew, people who cook. I love that, just how you do your plates could be a gift. People who collect recycled items and repurpose them. People who style their hair a certain way. Our skin regimen. Everything that we do, especially distinct and unique to us, is an example of being creative. You don't need social media or people to affirm that. If you do something unique and it's your thing and you do it well, or maybe it's something you want to develop, it's a creative. You're a creative. Public speakers, host, teachers, every field has the ability to have a creative twist on it. Do not underestimate that. Organizers, administrators, everything. It's about how you're viewing it. So to the person watching this video that you do things well, whether it's you doodling, you writing, you whatever, the way you exercise, the way you dance, stop waiting on people to affirm it and you do it. Just you do it. You tap into it and you do it at maximum in excellence. And I guarantee you will feel good. You will enjoy life all the more because you are tapping into a dimension that is a part of your makeup. And it feels good to watch it come out of you. Okay? Number 2, she says, the only unique contribution that we will ever make in this world will be born of our creativity. I love that. I love that. Y'all, I love that because we think back that conforming and doing what everyone expects of us is how we make an impact. But if you really take a moment to think about people who stand out in your mind, right? Who maybe lead the pack in their group. And I don't mean like their group of friends. I mean like their arena of work. It's people who do things different. Like they almost shift the atmosphere. And so if you are someone who wants to leave a contribution on the world, you have to tap into what you do well and do it, even if no one watches, even if no one acknowledges it, even if no one purchases it, you have to still put it out there. Because first and foremost, you don't know what the response is going to be, right? But we should not be driven based on people responding to our creativity. We should be doing our creatives, whatever that looks like. We should be flowing out of our creative space because it's in us. Okay. Number 3, if we want to make meaning, we need to make art. Cook, write, draw, doodle, paint, scrapbook, take pictures, collage, knit, rebuild an engine, sculpt, dance, decorate, act, sing. It doesn't matter. As long as we're creating, we are cultivating meaning. Whew. And then she says, creativity, which is the expression of our originality, helps us to stay mindful that creativity, which is the expression of our originality, helps us to stay mindful that what we bring to the world is completely original and cannot be compared. I'm gonna pause right there. So it's so funny because Sunday I posted a video about jealousy, and the week before that I posted a video about playing small. So I see that there's like this theme of things happening and I like it. And so I'm speaking to myself, but I also want to talk to whoever's watching this who plays small or who spends more time comparing instead of producing for the world. This series is literally like a secret joy of mine. That's how I refer to it when I'm talking to my circle of people. And I love sharing it because I just wholeheartedly, I wholeheartedly believe that people need this series, right? But if no one watches this, if no one shares it, if not another person subscribes, I'm still going to do this because it is a form of my creativity, right? It's one of the things that I feel creative in doing. And it's my contribution to the world. And I haven't, looked at another person's YouTube channel for the idea. And I'm not trying to be like another YouTuber. I am simply doing what I believe I do best, right? And I want to tell someone that it's just so important that you stop comparing, because the comparison is what will prevent you from producing. And not only that, but you won't produce your most original and authentic work, because in your mind, it has to look like someone else's, because you've decided to make them the best in that arena. Now, if we're talking about being excellent at your craft, okay, yes, you got to know what's out there, what's going on. But nonetheless, you still have to produce whatever that is for you, because it is necessary for your well-being. And so I love this chapter because it's very simple, it's straight to the point. And we really don't realize how comparison cancels creativity. How we don't do what we feel feels good to us because we are, and this is blessing me right now, we are comparing to what we've been exposed to. And so again, let me just clean this up. When we're trying to do something in excellence, it is wisdom to know what's out there. But even in trying to be excellent, you still have to remain original. You still have to remain true to who you are in order for it to be sustainable, for it to be your best, okay? And that can be something we unpack another day. But you have to almost silence comparison and say to yourself, this is my thing. This is my thing. And I want to do this because it flows from me naturally. And I'm not going to compare this to anyone else because this is something I enjoy. If I want to live wholeheartedly, I cannot sabotage or cancel the things that are in me, that my creator put in me, because I am believing that someone else is doing it better, rocks it better, is favorable, especially when I haven't put anything out. And even if I did, even if you're someone that's like, okay, Alicia, but I do produce work and no one is gravitating towards it, I want you to assess your mindset on why you do it. And I know this is really hard because we live in a society that we're so affirmed based on people and likes and followers. But I would challenge you to just take a step back and remind yourself of your why, of why you do a thing. Because sometimes the things that we're really creative about really help us holistically. And I think if we focus more on the process instead of the end product, we'll enjoy the experience all the more. So that's a lot. It's a lot. And I hope that you are able to kind of unpack all of that. But if you had to walk away with any solid thought, it's that comparison cancels creativity. And that your creativity is your mark on the world, and no one else is going to do it the way you do it. No one else can think of the ideas you think of. Even if you see things that resemble it, it's still something different about your hands touching that arena. And you have to trust that that's special. You have to trust that that's special. And tapping into creativity partners in you being wholehearted, because it means being authentic. It means belonging. It means owning your story however you see fit. It is a physical product of wholehearted living. Ooh, that is so good. That is so good. So here we have a series where we've been talking about the mental work, the hard work, the heart work. And here we have an opportunity to produce something tangible. And it literally forces us to believe in ourselves, to know that we belong, to own what we believe we do well and what we enjoy, and to put it out there for people to critique, to ignore, to explore, or to just simply, oh, okay, cool. But it's still that thing is blessing me. It's still wholehearted living. because it's like, this is me. I'm not fitting in. I don't care if no one purchases the product. I don't care if no one checks it out. This is a physical manifestation of me loving where I am, knowing that I'm worthy, owning what's going on in my life, and creating. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. I gotta go. So I'll see you all in the next video. As always, thank you. Bye.